Okay, now in this lesson we are going to design a red line specification document, but we are going to just design a specific portion of it. Other portions we are going to get them in an online tool called Zeppelin. Okay, so the plugin we are going to use, Photoshop extension, is called Ink. It is a free plugin and I am going to show you in few seconds how to use it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so here is the Ink plugin I was talking about, ink.chromata4.com. It's a free plugin and you can see over here it can generate the width and heights of any selection, any layer. Also it can show all the layer properties of a text layer. You can see over here it is going to show that what is the opacity, font names, style, also their font size along with line height. Okay, so these are a lot of different details you can get from this plugin. You need to install it, so make sure you install this plugin. Now I'm going to switch to Photoshop. Now here you can see in my Photoshop, you can see this is the Ink plugin. If you don't see this extension, you can go to extensions and click on Ink. Okay, so this is how it is, its layout is shown, and there are different things you can turn on and turn off, like layer measurements, print layer main properties, colors, layer effects, or generate an XML file. It is already switched off. Okay, so these are different icons you can see over here. These are for the selections. So if I select something like this and then I click on this, you can see over here it is going to show the size of my selection. Okay, so I selected 49 pixels like that. Okay, and these three controls are for selections and these three are for layers. Okay, so if I click any layer like this one and I click any of these properties like this one, okay, so it is going to show me the width and height of this layer. Okay, you can see over here. Okay, so this is how it is generating all these specifications. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are just going to use some guides and we are going to show the distances between each element. Okay, so what is the distance from here to here? What is the distance between these two elements? Okay, then what is the distance between the top of this element and this area over here? Okay, so all these distances we are going to show. Most important ones are the distances in different sections. Okay, so if you consider that this is going to be one section or one row of a design, then what is the distance between this one and the next row? Okay, also you can see over here is our second section, and you can see this is the distance between our top section, header section, or hero area section and the next one. Also we are going to show the distances between these subsections, like you can see over here. Then we can see the distances between these elements. Okay, also these elements and also at the bottom. So let's get started. I am going to show you few and you are going to I'm going to skip the others and maybe skip them fast so you can see how I designed them. Now the main technique behind generating this red line specification is we are going to use guidelines. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to select any element. Okay, so let's select our move tool and we are going to select any element like this one, and I'm going to drag and drop a guideline over here. Okay, so it is going to stick to it. Okay, so this is very nice. Then we are going to select this one and we are going to drop another one like this. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, so we need to select, make sure you select the container. Okay, so I'm going to select this and again drop it, and it is going to fit like that. Then if you want, you can also drop something over here like this. Okay, is it a paragraph? I think it's a paragraph. So I am going to convert it to point text. Okay, so it can snap to it exactly where it should be. Okay, then you can also use something over here, then over here, something like that. Then you can also go from here and then from here like this. Okay, so you get the idea what I am trying to do over here. Okay, now I have placed all the different guidelines. Now why I place these guidelines or guides so I can help my developer to estimate the distances between different elements. Okay, so you can see I have skipped over here one. Why? Because if I am going to show him the distance between these two elements, I think he will understand that the distance between these two elements, which is the heading and subheading, is going to be same. Okay, so we don't need to show him these guides again and again, so I'm going to remove them. So let's remove this one. Okay, so we are going to tell him once and he is going to go from there. Okay, so these are the distances we are going to generate, and these are all vertical distances, okay, from top to bottom. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to just make a selection over here like that, and I'm going to press this. Okay, so this is basically measuring height. So basically we are going to generate all these heights. Okay, so I'm going to Control D or Command D to deselect. Then I am going to snap in between this, and I'm going to again generate this. Okay, so this is a bit not accurate. So what I'm going to do is I am going to place one over here. Okay, so this is actually our main purpose. Okay, so this is whole area, and you can see over here he needs to know that there is some distance between these two, this border. Okay, so I'm going to again select this area and I'm going to press, okay, so this one. Okay, so it is 62. I think it is not in our grid. Let's see what our grid should have. It should be 64. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct the mistake over here. So it should be 64. So I'm going to put 64 over here. Okay, so let's see what is the distance between these two. Okay, so if you feel the distance is not in your grid or your 8 pixel grid, you are going to calculate it, and 104 divided by 8. Okay, so it is inside our grid. Okay, then we are going to need some space between these areas, these headings. So let's place a grid over here like that and see how much we have over here. Maybe 16, I guess, or maybe 32. Okay, so it is going to be 32. Don't worry, there might be problems of 1 or 2 pixels, so we are not our eye is not that pixel perfect, so we are not going to worry about it. We are going to change the size into whole numbers, so our designers knows or developers knows that how they are going to build this design. Okay, so these are different. Okay, so let's calculate the size between these two also. I think it is going to be 42. Okay, so it should be basically 40. So there is a distance of 2 pixels. Okay, so let's create this one. Okay, so the section, the distance of any section is going to be 96. Okay, so yes, it is good. Then what will be the distance between these two headings? So let's select this. I think it's 16 or maybe, okay, so it's 20, but I think it should not be 20. It must be something closer to 24, I guess. Okay, so let's turn on my grid and see what went wrong over here. So let's see if they are aligned properly. Okay, so I think there is a bit of problem over here. Okay, so what we need to do is that, okay, so actually this section is using these whole lines over here. Okay, so a bit of line, bit of our text is a bit off the grid. Okay, so actually what we need to do is we need to Control D. Okay, so I think 24 will work. You do not need to worry about it. Actually it should be something like this. Okay, at the bottom of the grid. Okay, so this is how it is going to work, but in the middle it's okay. Don't worry much about it. these are just the guidelines. Okay, so let's hide our grid.